Welcome, gamers, to Basement Arcade Pause Menu Show, where we hit pause, sit back, and just chill. I am your host, Ben Magnet, and I am joined once again by my bros from the Fake Nerd Podcast, Sparkz Witty and Ryan Iliopoulos, and we are here talking about the Game Awards. They happened at the time of this recording. They happened just last week. The winners are out. The trailers are out. The hype is real. And I gotta say, I'm actually very happy with the winner list this year. It's pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. But we'll get into that. Gentlemen, how are you doing this fine day?
Ben Magnet of the Fake Nerd Podcast. I am fantastic because not only did my favorite game of the year win Game of the Year, I got a new announcement for what their next game is. So I don't even care what happened for this Game Awards. I won. I'm getting my new mech game. So you know what? I'm feeling great.
Was this just in? Ryan won the Game Awards.
Yep.
It was a really good morning of game announcements and evening of game announcements and a bizarre ending that has the world baffled and
oh yeah,
oh god, that
and a great winners list.
Yeah, that was if you watch the Game Awards, there was a 15-year-old who somehow snuck through security and got on stage, and then he got arrested afterwards.
Did you see the video of how he got up there?
No.
Oh, so they're walking across the front of an aisle. The Elden Ring team. Mm-hmm. He just walks up from the other aisle. Oh, he just simply walks up and merges into them as they're passing by, being congratulated by the people that are walking by in the front row. That he just came up the other aisle and folded in behind them.
I love it.
And just marched up the stage with them.
Security will be better next year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure security is going to be better next year. They're going to probably make sure they know who's sitting where.
Talk about
and then if they see anyone else to get up and not go to the back of the auditorium to go to the restroom, then they're like, get that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about having just pitch perfect baffling message. Anyway, that's not what we're really here for. Shall we get into the winners and then get into those?
So there was
juicy trailers,
tons of announcements, amazing announcements. But we got some awards to talk about, and we're not gonna talk about all of them. You can watch the awards yourself, or you can find a list yourself. But we're gonna talk about some of the big ones. We're gonna start today with Best Adaptation, because this was a real good list of things. Also, Uncharted was on the list.
Yeah.
Arcane League of Legends won Best Adaptation. It was up against Cyberpunk, which is an incredible show. Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a great movie. And The Cuphead Show, which I've heard is very good. But it won Best Adaptation.
As of this time of recording, I have not finished Cyberpunk, but it was Arcane's to win.
Oh, yeah.
As much as I like a lot of the other things on that list, Arcane is a piece of art.
It is another level.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As much as obviously in my heart of hearts, I want Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to win. Because that film was absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm. The best live action video game adaptation film so far is Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh yeah, hands down. But I still haven't seen all of Arcane yet, but just seeing the trailers for Arcane, just hearing the hype that you, Ryan, and Brandon, our other co-hosts of the Fake Nerd Podcast, when you guys would talk about how good Arcane is. Mm-hmm. The second I saw Arcane on the list, I'm like, there's no way in hell Sonic's going to win. I'm sorry.
I have only watched 3 episodes, but those are still 3 incredible episodes.
Yeah. Did Arcane also win an Emmy, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's sweeping this year, which deserved. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to the team over who made Arcane, because even just watching the trailers, that animation looks absolutely stunning. I've heard the story is fantastic, and the best thing is you don't have to play League of Legends to understand the story. I've never played League of Legends. I just know the mountains and mountains assault behind the game. Oh, yeah. But other than that, a noob like me could sit down and enjoy the show, which is good. And I think that's one of the best ways to adapt a game franchise into other media is you never have to play the game to understand the story of the show.
Yeah, it makes you want to invest in the world. It doesn't make you have to be already into the world, which is really great.
I mean, of course, it probably helps, but once again, you don't absolutely have to.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to Arcane. That's another on my list that I need to watch.
So next will be
an ever-growing backlog of list of shit I need to watch. That's definitely it.
The list is so long for all of us. We will never finish our backlogs ever. Mm-hmm. Most anticipated game, we have Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, and Starfield. And the winner, I think, obviously, was The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I can't even believe Hogwarts Legacy would be on that list.
That is some marketing baloney. There's a lot of the Game Awards might be really cool, but it's also just like the Oscars and the Golden Globes. There's a lot of politics involved.
There's a lot of people walking up to Jeff Keighley with money in the hand, just putting it there,
trailer,
and,
please.
Away.
Thank you. Yeah. So sorry, Hogwarts Legacy. People are excited for Tears of the Kingdom. Sorry, Queen Elizabeth. Let's
Yeah.
see.
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom. I would from once again, me personally, Final Fantasy 16, Tears of the Kingdom. Those are my top 2 games coming up next year. But just the hype for every time a new Zelda is announced and anywhere, anytime Nintendo announces anything about Zelda, everyone is hyped as shit. Even when they did Skyward Sword HD for the Switch, people were hyped about that game.
Yeah.
And that was one of the most I don't want to say controversial
No,
because
you're
the
right.
game itself isn't bad, but it's one of the most controversial Zelda games just because when it came out for the Wii, it was just different. And even in retrospect, a lot of content creators were saying it only got a 10 because it was a Zelda. It doesn't deserve it. And then Breath of the Wild comes out, maybe a little bit more critical eye, but still it was praised to high heaven because it deserved it.
Yeah.
And if you look at Tears of the Kingdom, they're doing a lot of Sky stuff. So Skyward Sword might be even more relevant than ever before. So we might need to revisit that one. I want to talk about Best Fighting Game because it's a game I didn't think it was going to win. Best Fighting Game went to Multiverses, which is a game Sparkz and I played a lot this year. I think that game is incredible. One of the best free-to-play games and the best models you can have. It was up against like King of Fighters and Sifu. Even though Sifu is not a fighting game, that is a single-player adventure brawler, but it doesn't really matter. It's also against JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, one of that new
I think there just
game.
also wasn't like standout fighting games.
Yeah, because Street Fighter,
like Multiverses owned it, but like
Street Fighter's next year, which is definitely going to win. All right, best role-playing game. Oh, Ben, sorry.
No, I was gonna say for best fighting game, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff for fighting games this year. I mean, you had Joe. Yeah. I'm looking at the list right now. I don't even know what DNF Duel is. I mean, King of Fighters, okay, but I've heard not so great thing about King of Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that King of Fighters is still going because that's a very popular SNK franchise that's been around since the dawn. Well, not the dawn of time, but since the golden age of arcade fighters.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm kind of glad Multiverses is one best fighting game because I remember when this trailer came out and a lot of us were like, oh great, another Smash clone, another this is just gonna be look at all the IPs we have, and then you played it,
Ben,
and then you're like, holy shit, this is great.
Ben, are you gonna touch it before the end of the year?
I did touch it before the end of the year.
Okay.
I did touch it.
Little touch.
I've touched it. I can honestly say I touched it.
Put his teeny tiny toe in the pool.
I played the tutorial. I can say that.
Okay, that counts for something, I guess. All right, so best role-playing game. Big fan of role-playing games here at the Fake Nerd Podcast. We had things like Xenoblade Chronicles, Triangle Strategy, Pokemon, Live Alive. But Elden Ring is the big winner today, folks.
Obviously.
Elden Ring is not just like a great game, it is really like the perfect role-playing game because the point of a role-playing game is like, hey, you can play whatever character you want. You know, you take on the form of this character and like you could just be whatever you want in that game. You want to be all bows, all shields, all magic, all physical, all melee, all magic, like anything you want, you can do the dumbest build possible. So thank you, Elden Ring. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I mean, not to sneeze at any of the other RPGs on this list. Come on, the second Elden Ring was there. It's like, oh, we know who's gonna win. I mean, I don't want to say it would be blasphemy if any other game, because the only other game I could possibly see winning, maybe Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah, that one was pretty hot. That was a pretty hot game this year.
Yeah. Triangle Strategy, I would definitely put as a distant third because I would say Xenoblade Chronicles and Elden Ring. Maybe Live Alive could be the dark horse, but Pokemon and Triangle Strategy. As much as I love tactical RPGs, I barely played the demo for Triangle Strategy. I haven't put a lot of time in. I haven't gotten the game, and that was one of the games I was really hot on and that I really wanted this year. But yeah, Elden Ring, that was obviously the win.
I wonder if Marvel's Midnight Suns didn't come out at the end of the month, it could have been nominated because apparently that isn't an incredible role playing game as well. Let's move on to best action. Yeah. This is weird because there's two different genres or categories for action and action adventure. But action adventure game went to God of War Ragnarok. That's a pretty easy one. That is a great, narrative story that's wide open to play.
It was gonna get an award somewhere.
Yeah, it won't be the first, but it's not the last. Yeah. And then this one was a stickler for some people, and it's best action game, and it went to Bayonetta 3. And I know none of us have played Bayonetta 3, but if you pay attention to the word around the game is this ain't it. This is not the best Bayonetta game.
Right.
It also ends apparently like not just horribly, but like in a way that like pisses off most of its fan base. So the fact that this is like the third or fourth Nintendo win that we're going to talk about. It shows some of the politics happening here because Mr. Doug Bowser, who's like the president of Nintendo, came up and accepted all these awards and like, Wow, Nintendo, great year you're having. That's crazy. I don't know about that one, boy.
Yeah.
Really, Doug Bowser went up and accepted the award for Bayonetta 3?
Yeah, because the team wasn't there.
Out of this list, everything I heard this year makes me think it should have gone to Neon White.
Yeah, Neon White, snuff.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that because I have heard nothing but amazing things about Neon White.
Yeah, that game.
That game came out like what, October?
Yeah, and it's beloved, and it also maybe should have won Best Indie Game of the Year, and it also didn't. So sorry, Neon White, you did your best. Let's see. Let's move on to there's a lot of games. Real quick, best.
I was gonna say for.
I
was gonna say for best action game. I mean, my personal vote would have been for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. That game is absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing beat 'em up.
It is a good beat 'em up.
But I mean, Neon White though, you would not even Sifu. You would snuff Neon White and Sifu for Bayonetta 3? Hell no.
Yeah, that's again just weird Nintendo politics. The game,
I call
they gave the Game Awards a lot of money.
I call blasphemy, but okay.
I'm not big on the mobile games, but the game I play won, so I want to talk about it. It's Marvel Snap.
Absolutely.
Marvel Snap, incredible game. I play at least 1 to 25 matches every single day because they take literally 1 to 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of actually great games on here: Apex Legends, Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact. Those are all maybe not Diablo Immortal, but I know Genshin and Apex have a huge fan base. But yeah, right. Marvel Snap, you did great. Best debut indie game. This is also a big stickler for some people. Stray won, and not that Stray is a bad game. Stray is a perfectly good game. Ben, you've played Stray, correct?
I have not, but I have seen Fanny play Stray.
Okay, there you go. You've been in a household with
playing it as well.
There you go. I've seen a playthrough of the game. That game's great. Like it's really cute. I wouldn't say it is the best original game of the year, considering games like Neon White, Norco, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors came out, and all 4 of those other games were people expecting to win. Nobody really expected Stray to win.
It sounds like it should have been Norco. From everything I heard.
Yeah. Again, Stray's a great game, but that's definitely also Stray is like by Annapurna, which is not small. They're not small anymore. They're like the A24 of video games. So like they had a pretty big budget.
Yeah. I don't have anything bad to say about Stray. Once again, I haven't played it. I've only watched my partner play it. And of course, she likes playing it because you play as a cute little kitty cat. And the game does look fantastic. The game, it's on my PS5. I need to play it, and it looks gorgeous.
Sure.
I mean, I'm still glad. Personally, I'm glad Stray won something. But at the same time, I do see your point, Ryan. Whereas, like with Neon White on as the best debut indie game, I can only imagine the team for Neon White was much smaller than the team for Stray. Yeah. And I heard. And the fact that Neon White got snubbed, as far as I know, in all their categories, it kind of like hurts a little bit because Stray, I mean, yes, best indie game, cool, but Stray was also nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me a little bit because Stray won both debut indie game and best indie game, and I think there's enough other games in the world that you could do that. Like best indie game,
I enjoy Stray, like what I've touched of it so far and what I've seen, but like. Going to the indie game category, like I would say Cult of the Lamb is more inventive and creative.
Yeah, we got Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, and Tunic. Is that our dog? Is that a live dog?
No, that's my roommate's cat.
Okay, cool.
Naomi, it's okay.
So yeah, Stray double back-to-back winner. I'm kind of glad it doesn't win anymore because it's a great game, but like man,
it shouldn't have gotten both of these.
It shouldn't have won.
Maybe not even one of them.
Swept the indie category.
I'm actually now looking at the best indie category. I'm kind of mad that Cult of the Lamb didn't win.
Yeah,
I mean, once again, Cult of the Lamb. I'm biased for Cult of the Lamb because that was the big. If you can't tell, audience watchers, I'm very biased on the games that I played did not win. What our going to game I personally played did not win.
That's it. Yeah.
And Cult of the Lamb being like to me the best indie game I played all year. Probably the only indie game I played all year, to be honest. But nonetheless, it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
It is truly a fantastic game, and I'm glad it was nominated. But Stray winning best indie game, beating out Sifu, beating out Neon White, and beating out 3 games that I've heard nothing but great things about. And I've also heard great things about Stray, but
it's because it's got a cat. It's because it's got a cat.
It's because it's I don't want to sound like an award snob or something, but I feel like if you were nominated for best if you're nominated for best debut indie game, that should disqualify you for being nominated for best indie game. But I don't know.
No, I'm kind of with you. Let's move on to best performance. So we had Ashley Birch for Horizon, Charlotte McBurney from A Plague Tale, Christopher Judge from God of War, Man Engaged from Immortality, and Sunny Suljic from God of War as well. And Christopher Judge gave the longest speech ever captured at an award ceremony. It lasted like 9 minutes, and they were so mad at him because if you didn't know what the gimmick of the Game Awards this year was, y'all, the Steam Deck was giving away a free Steam was giving away a free Steam Deck every single minute of the Game Awards. Mm-hmm. So for 9 extra minutes, so like they had to give 500 extra Steam Decks away, and Jeff Keighley was visibly not happy about it, and he kept making jokes throughout the entire night of like, oh well, I was gonna make a big speech here, but Chris already gave that one, so I can't. And I'm like, shut up, bro. Let him give the speech. It's okay. But yeah, Christopher Judge won for God of War. We've all touched God of War. You know of God of War, so I do. Christopher Judge, a well deserved award win. Man Engaged from Immortality was the big frontrunner to win because that is a performance much like Orphan Black, where she is giving multiple performances as different people throughout the game. And I haven't played it, but I've seen some of it, and it's really incredible shit. It's a game. Immortality is really cool indie game where you're like rearranging footage of a movie to make sense of a mystery that happened. So you're looking at footage and rearranging it and trying to find out like, okay, I got info from this scene, so I go to this other scene to pick up more stuff. And people really, really like that game, and specifically Man Engage. I believe she won at another award ceremony for this game.
Yeah, I really want to get into that.
Also, Immortality, it's a Netflix game, so you can play it on Netflix, which is weird to say, but Netflix has a lot of really good games on it now. And that's just the way it is. Ben, you've played some God of War. How do you feel about Christopher Judge?
Deserved it. 100% deserved it. I as I'm playing through God of War, actually I picked up God of War. I picked it up again because I've been playing Pokemon a whole lot. Now I'm going back into my God of War phase because I want to finish it so we can do a review of it later on or for next year. Next year, I mean January. And every time he speaks, every time, all the actors, all the voice performance on that show, on that game, let's call it a show, on that game are absolutely fantastic. Christopher Judge just he nails it as Kratos. His sultry tones are amazing, and also I'm not gonna bash Sonny Suljic. Sonny Suljic is amazing. I keep forgetting that this is the same kid who did the first God of War, and then he grew up, and it's still the same kid. And I'm like, yes, good job on you, Santa Monica Studios, for keeping the same cast, but also, damn, he got older.
Yeah. So I will say this isn't. I wouldn't say this is controversial. I think because God of War got 2 nominees. I think Sonny Suljic's really good. I think that second nominee should have went to Danielle Biscucci, who plays Freya in that game.
Yes.
Because Freya has such a significant bigger role in this game, and she is giving, I think, the best performance of the game. And I understand her not getting it because it's a Christopher Judge role, but she really is the emotions that Kratos doesn't have. She's giving 200% that entire game, and I feel bad that she didn't get recognized at all.
Honestly, so I just recently got to a part. Ryan, you know this. Sparkz, you probably don't. So I'm gonna try to keep the spoilers free.
Tiptoe.
Yeah, but I got to. But Brian, you know the part where Kratos and Freya have that conversation, that long conversation. Or that long section where it's just the two of them.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, sure, yeah. Because I'm saying they talk a lot in the game.
I know, but it's the first. It's the time where they both go into a certain realm together.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah.
That entire sequence, I was just captivated, and I was actually trying to hurry up and find all the loot so I could get to the next story bit, so I could see or I could hear their next interaction.
Yeah. And
she absolutely nails it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the second you said that she deserved the nomination, I 100% agree. I like Sunny a whole lot. Sunny does an amazing job, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the performance that she gives when she's talking to Christopher Judge as Kratos is just, or even when she's talking to Brock, is just, I'm like, this woman deserves this and she deserves a nomination, and she's giving Christopher Judge a run for his money, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Christopher Judge, amazing performance throughout the game. I absolutely love him, and I'm quoting him. I'm trying to imitate his voice while I'm playing. It's just super funny.
Boy.
But boy, it's just great. It's just absolutely fantastic.
All right.
So this was a back-to-back win for God of War Ragnarok. They won both Best Audio Design and Best Sound and Music. Bear McCreary gave a live performance with Hosier at the Game Awards. Incredible shit. That dude, Bear McCreary, was rocking a hurdy-gurdy. I don't know if you've ever seen a hurdy-gurdy, guys, but it's the weird thing that's like, it's like an accordion that you crank. And he was headbanging to it. Watch that performance, y'all. It's incredible.
There is actually a content creator I follow on Instagram who plays stuff with a hurdy-gurdy. And I'm like, it's really cool. She does an amazing job with that instrument. But you're absolutely right. The music in God of War is just, I mean, I love the music in Elden Ring. Was Elden Ring also?
Yes, it was. That was so tough between Elden Ring and God of War, but I would go with either one. I don't hate it.
Yeah, because
I will say
the stuff with Elden. Oh, sorry, Sparkz. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was really just gonna say because the score in Elden Ring is very ambient, whereas the score I mean, don't get me wrong, but Elden Ring has its moments where you just get pumped. You just get like, hell yeah, the music's with you, the fight is with you. There's some amazing scores of amazing boss fights, especially with the ancestral spirit.
Yeah, the big deer, absolutely.
Yeah, the big moose thing. Amazing score. Of course, the opening title and the final boss theme is great. But then you get to God of War, and it's just, it's either or. It's truly either or.
I will say that, having encountered the Foley artist who worked on God of War, because they worked on Kimmy, and that was a whole thing where our class got to talk with them and knew they were working on God of War Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. Like, knowing that it's someone on that level crafting the sound design, that's not surprising to me.
Oh, yeah.
Ragnarok wins.
Yeah. It was a good year for brain noise. Best narrative went to God of War Ragnarok. I'm not surprised. Like it's a big ass story. Best game direction. This was a spicy one because this could have gone to almost anyone. Stray, Immortality, Horizon, God of War, and Elden Ring. And Elden Ring won. I think that's well deserved. God of War Ragnarok, great game. It's very much that first game again, whereas Elden Ring is like the next generation of open world games. For sure. It is unfathomably good in every direction of gaming. Like, I have problems with God of War Ragnarok. I don't have problems with Elden Ring.
God of War Ragnarok, having not played it, can be a great story and another great, like, God of War experience, but it's not the game changer that Elden Ring is.
Yes, absolutely. And God of War is a Game of the Year, like, nominee, so obviously it's great, but, like, yeah, it's just, like, it is kind of more of the same, which is great, as opposed to this is something completely new. So good job, Elden Ring. And then the big final one. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was gonna just extrapolate on that fact because Elden Ring truly was a game changer. I mean, there is a bait, the bones of other FromSoft games such as Bloodborne, Dark Souls, they were there, but the fact that you're able to just, instead of like the linear path in those games, Dark Souls and Bloodborne, they just said, F it, go anywhere. And the fact that it was a true open world, the map is absolutely ginormous. Elden Ring truly was a game changer. I am playing one of the reasons why I stopped playing God of War for a hot second to jump over to Pokemon was because don't get wrong, I'm having fun with God of War, but I'm like, I played this back in 2018. It's just maybe a little better visuals and a different story and some characters older. That's about it. And not to say that I don't want to see the continuation of that story, but I jumped over to Pokemon because it's like, hey, here's something. I mean, yes, it's Pokemon, so they reuse a lot of things, but there's still newer elements in Pokemon than there were in God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, Elden Ring. That's the game that I got in February, and I played on a consistent basis all the way until November.
Yeah, we put our last stream out like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like 9 months, I was consistently playing Elden Ring. And it was like, and I was always fascinated. I was always ready to go. I'm still ready to go back into the Lands Between. My friend Grayson, he still wants to play Elden Ring again. And I haven't deleted that sucker off my PS4 hard drive because I'm like, I'm ready to go in. I may have beaten the game and became the Lord. I'm still willing to jump in and help you out. I can do that.
Ben, don't forget that when you go to that sacred hold, you can start Journey 2, baby, and do the whole thing over again with all your equipment, and it's a harder level. You can just do it again and be better.
I can just do it again.
Also, the Coliseum DLC just came out, so we're gonna do some hardcore PvPing soon in Coliseums. Are you not entertained?
9 months of consistent playing for Ben. 9 months, and he has a little baby Elden Lord.
Little baby Elden Lord. Yeah, so game of the year. We got a Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Stray, and Xenoblade. I could have seen this with the sweep that God of War was having. I could see it going to God of War, but I am so happy it went to Elden Ring because it really is. It really is like a game of a generation. Like it's like if they made an Elden Ring 2, like there's no way it can compete because like they did it. It's like a God of War 1. Like you made one of the greatest things ever made, and it's really hard to top that. So like if this were like Dark Souls 4, it might be a different story against God of War Ragnarok, but it's Elden Ring, so it's a brand new thing.
It's again like it's changing what video games will do going forward.
Yeah, and I hope
set a new bar.
Yeah,
it was gonna win.
Yeah, and I hope that because always like when a big game comes out, like sometimes they take the wrong lessons. Like Elden Ring is very, very big, but it's not just very big; it is dense, and there's always something to do. So I hope that they don't learn a lesson of we need 100 square miles of land because like. That's what a lot of open worlds are, and there's nothing to do in them.
Right.
And I don't want to do that world where I'm just riding around for 5 minutes not doing anything. Right. So, go ahead, Ben.
There were times, Ryan, when you and I were playing Elden Ring together, where you would just hop into my game, and we wouldn't do a dungeon. We would play for like 2 hours, not doing any dungeons. We weren't doing any of the legacy dungeons. We were just gallivanting around the map,
vibing.
Just like it's like, hey, let's go over that way. Oh, big horde of enemies. Let's go stab them. Or it's like, hey, look, here's some ruins. Let's go take care of these guys and get the treasure inside. Or it's like, wait, did you find this one? And then Ryan's over here chuckling because he already found it. And then every once in a while, I would find a dungeon, and he wouldn't know what that dungeon is. So he would have to activate it. We can go do it together. That's great.
That's the most incredible thing in Elden Ring because like I've never played a game where I put 120 hours into it, and then I go back to the starting location. I'm like, oh, I missed that. How did I miss that? I was here I was here so long, and it's like it's just because there's that much shit. Like you spent 5 years making a game, there's a lot of stuff to do. Love it.
Definitely. I mean, out of all the only other dark horse I could possibly see just from word of mouth, I mean, obviously God of War Ragnarok is up there, but I just don't feel like God of War Ragnarok. I mean, yes, Game of the Year nominee, but Game of the Year winner, I just don't feel it as I'm playing the game. One of the other games I could definitely feel like it could have been a dark horse would have been Plague Tale, and that's only through word of mouth and through other people talking about it.
Yeah. I think honestly the only game on this list that didn't have a shot was Horizon Forbidden West, unfortunately, because that has a similar problem of God of War Ragnarok, where it is like very much the first game, but God of War Ragnarok is a superior, so much better version of it's the same game but better. Whereas Horizon Forbidden West from all I hear is like, man, that's a great looking PS5 game. I have not heard much. Yeah, I have not heard much else about Forbidden West, unfortunately, which is.
I mean, Xenoblade. I mean, I'm also once again Stray. I'm glad it's there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it's there, but Stray doesn't have a chance. Whereas Xenoblade, I'm like, why is Xenoblade there?
No,
not to say that's a bad game.
It's just a different genre, man. It's a different genre of a lot of fans.
Yeah, there are people who don't like the Souls games. There's a large portion of the people who voted for the Game of the Year who don't like Elden Ring just because it's not their type of game.
Right.
Whereas Xenoblade Chronicles is like the best version of that type of JRPG. Like people love that game.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, no, the reason I didn't mean okay, that came out wrong.
No, I know what you
mean. The reason why I'm like, why is Xenoblade there? It's not that I think it's a bad game. I have Jeff got me the first game. I'm willing to dive into the Xenoblade games. I want to play these games. These games look fantastic. I'd love to play them. It's one of those things. It's like, really? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy it's nominated, and the fact that it was nominated does to me solidifies, hey, this is truly a great game. You really need to check it out.
There you go. Yeah.
But it's like it's weird because in the gaming space, or maybe I just haven't heard of it because in my own circle, people were mostly talking about Stray, Plague Tale, God of War, Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And Xenoblade was just kind of like, hey, I'm also here too. And it's like, oh, hey, I didn't notice you there in the corner.
I'll tell you what, Ben. Xenoblade Chronicles is significantly more popular in Japan, as are a lot of JRPGs.
Oh, yeah.
As are a lot of JRPGs. But like, the word of mouth on this game is insane. So like the fact that it's on this list is like it, like you said, like it solidifies like, damn, that is a good game. Like our circles aren't talking about it, but it is talked about enough where it is on the Game of the Year list.
Yeah, it's like the Smash Bros effect because Shulk was added in Smash Bros before his game ever came out in America.
Oh, that's funny.
So when Shulk was announced in Smash Bros, people were like, "Who the hell is Shulk?" It's just like what happened to, Roy and Marth in Melee, because Fire Emblem never made it to the United States until Smash Bros, and then the games come over, and now they're big here in America too.
All right,
3 heroes.
We should move on to the trailers.
Yeah, that was the Game Awards. Bing bong.
Yeah, bing bong.
So
I'm just glad Elden Ring won.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm so happy. So we are here in the basement arcade, but we're going to take a trip to the trailer park. Ciao.
Ciao.
We're all here. We got all the noise happening. Beautiful. Everything is copacetic. All right, guys. So we're not going to watch the full length of all these trailers, but we're going to talk about all these trailers with no sound so we don't get copyright strike. These aren't in particular order. This is wonderfully made by GameSpot. They put up a montage of all the trailers. The first trailer we're going to talk about is, for me, it's a me. Hideo Kojima, my boy, is back. This was leaked by Norman Reedus in an interview last year, so we knew this game was coming out. He said, yeah, I'm working on Death Stranding 2. It's going to be great. Death Stranding is a game about connecting. It's about the post-apocalypse, and it's about Norman Reedus going from the East Coast to the West Coast, trying to connect the internet, basically the internet. It's basically a soul internet, where like you're connected to the internet, across the United States to build back America. He's all about rebuilding America. Cool game. I didn't finish it because it was really long and a lot of things came out, but I will finish it now that this is coming out. Right. This seems to be focusing on Fragile, who is Léa Seydoux' character, who she has a baby now. Maybe her and Norman get together. I guess I'll have to finish the game. But it looks really spooky. It looks really cool. It's got Troy Baker in a gross mech flesh suit. And the thing on his back, those are not organic in the first game. So the fact that he has an organic one of those things is really gross and weird. And I'm super into it. Should we have connected? That's such a good line, y'all, because you spent 70 hours connecting, and now you're like, oh, maybe that was a bad idea. I think that's incredible. I'm so stoked.
No, this has me visually like the most enticed to want to get through that first game so I can get to whatever the hell's going on here.
Oh, yeah. Ben, do you have any... You would say no. Like, do you have any interest in Death Stranding at all?
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sorry, but no. Kojima is very hit or miss for me.
Yeah, he's an interesting dude for sure. Next is also a me, but it's also going to be for you guys because you guys play.
Oh, it's good. This is a me too.
This.
Oh yeah. So oh my god. Armored Core. First of all, it's called Armored Core 6: The Fires of Rubicon, which means that like they don't expect you to, but they're like, hey, we have 25 years of history that we're not going to ignore, and I think that's radical. Mm-hmm. I played these games as a kid, not knowing that obviously like these are before the Dark Souls games came out, but like these games are mech customization level based games. So like you customize your mech, you go on a mission, you get stuff to upgrade to go to the next mission. So it's very much like a rinse and repeat kind of thing. They've announced that they're going back to that market. They're done making Dark Souls type games for I was about to call it Front Mission. It's not called Front Mission.
No, that's a different one.
Yeah.
Although I am excited for the Front Mission games to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want Front Mission for my Switch.
Elden Ring has had great cinematics. FromSoft always makes the coolest cinematics. What I love about these mechs are they have all their weapons stored inside of their chassis. So you'll see wings pop out and then they take a gun from it. So you can have multiple guns and stuff. The scale of this is going to be so big. Just like the amount of customization in Elden Ring is like insane. So we're going to be able to do that, but with mechs. It makes my heart sing. Mm-hmm. And the very opening shot that we see is of a scrapyard looking mech taking something off a dead mech and putting it into a backpack. And Elden Ring, I keep saying Elden Ring, sorry. FromSoft is very good about putting what their gameplay is going to be in their trailers without really showing you what the gameplay is. So there's going to be some type of scrapping mechanic where you're going to be taking parts off mechs and putting it on your own. And I just can't handle it.
I'm really excited for that.
Oh my god.
I want to say I've never played any of the other Armored Core games before. I want to say the only time I heard about the Armored Core game, I don't know if it was Armored Core or a different game entirely, but it was an Xbox game where it had this giant mech controller.
Yeah, that's
Armored Core.
That's not Armored Core. That's
okay.
I want to say that's a Front Mission too, because it came out. It's like specifically like Front Mission Evolved, where you had like the
Front Mission. I don't think it was Front Mission because the last Front Mission I remember seeing was Front Mission 4 for the PS2, and that was just like a standard tactical RPG.
I know exactly what game you're talking about because it had like the big stupid thing. I'm looking up.
Giant,
Hold on.
Yeah, it had this giant controller that was like, this is how you power up. It was like it kind of looked like an airline cockpit, really, but you had like
Steel Battalion.
That's it.
And it had like a big like $200 dumb mech setup that like didn't really work. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to buy it, but yeah. So mechs are cool. I am just really excited that they're dropping the fantasy stuff. I love fantasy, but they're dropping it to go back to their sci-fi stuff.
Now that they announced Armored Core 6, part of me is kind of hoping they release the other Armored Core games, or at least they're like, hey, here's like some way to like get a taste of Armored Core because obviously Armored Core 6 looks gorgeous, but once again, I see the 6 there. I'm like, oh, I never played any other. I mean, I know I'm not gonna have to. I don't have to play all the other 5 games.
Ben,
but
hold on.
But it's like I want to try and get a taste of the gameplay.
Ben, you've played Kingdom Hearts. Do you really think there's only 5 Armored Core games?
Ah, shit.
Ben, there's Armored Core 1, and then there's 2 spin-offs, and then Armored Core 2 and 2 spin-offs, and Armored Core 3, and then Armored Core 4, and then Armored Core 4:answer. It is like the sci-fi Kingdom Hearts. I've only played a couple of them, and to be fair, I think even these designers will tell you, half of those games are not good, because they were coming on the PS1, the PS2, and they were shitting them out once a year. So like, I'm going to look what the best one is. I think they say it's like 4. I think 4 might be the best one. That could be someone lying. But I'm going to find the one that is the best one and play that one. Because, like, lore isn't particularly, like, necessary in FromSoft games. So, like, I don't expect them to think that we're going to play, like, 9 games. I don't think they're going to make us do that. But obviously, in these types of games, it helps to have that lore. And I want to know it. So when I pick up that ARM and I read the description, I'm like, I know what that war was about. That's
also knowing From Software and how well they did. They just obviously From Software, they just made Elden Ring. So who knows if they've been after they did Elden Ring, they went to work on Armored Core. But knowing them, like it's like, yeah, we know there's a 6 there, but you don't have to play the other games. You can just dive right into 6 and go have fun.
Yeah, and it was very bold to call it 6 instead of just refreshing it. Like that's a very hot thing to do.
Right.
Speaking of hot.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my God, this is probably the biggest surprise, because the company who made Hades, Supergiant Games, has never made a sequel before. They make one game and then move to a different genre and then move to a different genre, and then Hades was their most successful game and it made millions and millions of dollars.
I am a proud owner of a physical copy.
Yeah, Hades. I think we've all experienced Hades in some capacity.
Yes.
Hades is incredible. And the logline of it's a godlike roguelike is probably the best marketing you could ever have for a game. I think it's incredible. Hades is a procedurally generated game where when you die, you're trying to escape Hades, you're trying to escape Tartarus, your dad is Hades, and when you die, you restart. You have to try to escape again, but you gain more powerful with each run. That's what a roguelike is. But the thing about Hades is it has the most well-designed, well-crafted, and well-narrated like gods and dialogue in any of these games. They are so charming. Every god is so charming and fun to talk to. Like, you want to die. You never want to beat the game because then you're going to miss out on great dialogue and you get to go pet Cerberus. Oh, I love it. The fact that a sequel is coming is insane.
Medusa is one of my favorite characters in that game. I just love her so much.
She's
just like a floating Medusa head and she's like adorable and I love her.
Yeah. And the fact that this is the sequel, and we don't know for sure, but it sounds like you're playing Hades' daughter, even though they're talking about destroying Kronos, who is a Titan. You're playing a new character with the same beautiful gameplay. And I'm just so stoked. It makes me so happy. The people are calling it Ladies. For like 2 Hades, they're calling it Ladies, and I'm like, funny. It's pretty good. How you guys feeling about Ladies?
No, it looks exciting.
I mean, it looks gorgeous. Hades has already had an amazing art style, and I played a little bit of Hades. I haven't beaten it, obviously, but when I did, I waited to get the physical. I played it on my Switch. It truly is an amazing game. It is definitely something I need to play. I could definitely see why that game was one of the hottest tickets in 2021, why people were hoping it was going to win Game of the Year that year. It truly is a fantastic game, and I am actually really happy they're making a sequel, so then I could go back to the original, beat that, and then go and get ready for Hades 2. So luckily I know I have time because I don't see this game coming out for a little while, maybe.
We'll find. Yeah, we got time.
The art style is there. It looks absolutely stunning. I like how this new character looks, and I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. Let's go. Yeah.
I'm stoked. I'm glad that they're making another.
We love ladies in this household. Speaking of ladies, let's talk about Harley Quinn being funny. So this definitely was not originally going to be at the Game Awards, I think. The Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. But unfortunately, Kevin Conroy passed away last month. And they wanted to show that, like, hey, he's not done being Batman. He's got one more ticket in him.
Right.
And it's in Suicide Squad versus the Justice League.
Right.
I think that's cool. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm still I want to believe in this game so hard because it's Rocksteady and they've been making this game for like 7 years. Right. I'm still not 100% sold on it, but the fact that Kevin Conroy's in it is really cool. Like, having to fight an evil Batman is going to be really fun. I actually do think this is pretty funny. I don't know if you guys watched this.
Yes.
the Captain Boomerang trying to hold up a flash, an evil flash, and he cuts his pinky off by accident. I think the comedy is there. I need to see more gameplay. How are you guys feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm still not convinced that this is a game that's going to be good. Unfortunately, I think we've seen too much for too many years, and I haven't been impressed yet. But I am excited about Kevin Conroy, and like you said, it's Rocksteady, so I want to believe.
It's so wild that we've heard about this game for years, and we really haven't seen that much of it. We've only seen a brief snippet of gameplay. Right. And my best case scenario...
4 trailers, but we've only seen a brief snippet of gameplay, you're right.
My hope is that this is like Guardians of the Galaxy, is that the trailers aren't doing it justice, and that it'll actually end up being really good. Because it looks like, from the gameplay that I've seen, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy where you can just play as all the characters. Because every character is King Shark's a brawler, Captain Boomerang can do a teleport, Harley Quinn is a melee, Deadshot is guns. So you have your different characters you can choose from. It is a single player game. So I want to have faith. I really do. They haven't given me enough yet. I think it looks great though. I think the visuals are really, really great.
For sure.
Can't wait to beat up Batman and then he becomes my friend, hopefully.
Hopefully. I'm the same with you guys. Once again, I want to believe because it's Rocksteady. Just something about playing as a Suicide Squad though, it just really doesn't appeal to me for some reason. I am glad that Rocksteady did do this great. They added the thank you, Kevin, and they confirmed that Kevin Conroy's in the game. I do think that's amazing. That's a great little tribute. And obviously, I know he's going to deliver a stunning performance like he always has done in the Arkham games.
Yeah.
But the game itself, I want to believe, but at the same time, I'm like,
Oh, better comparison, actually. I think it's going to be a better version of what Gotham Knights is.
Sure.
Where it is a big open world, you have multiple characters to play as and stuff. Even though that game's multiplayer, didn't seem to help it. But I can't count it out yet because again, what Guardians was and how I just did not connect with Guardians until I played it, and that game rules. And sometimes things are hard to demo without getting the full scope of it, and I hope that's the case with this because again, we got a really great Suicide Squad movie, and we got Peacemaker, so it's not like we can't follow unlikable protagonists and whatever like that. So yeah. I'm really hoping for the best. I'd really like a game where I can play as King Shark. That's really fun. Let's just go on to Star Wars Jedi Survivor because I know none of us are real big Tekken fans.
Oh, they had a new Tekken trailer? I did not know that.
They did. Here, it looks really great.
Oh, no.
It looks great. I love Tekken growing up, but I just haven't played the last 4 installments.
I'll say it looks cool.
Yeah.
I think all the marketing for this Tekken game has been put to shame by Street Fighter 6 looking better.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6 looks stupid good.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like,
And again,
I know Tekken is one of the biggest fighting games out there, but
that's sick.
Coming from Bandai Namco, the fighting game I really care about from them is Soul Calibur, and I don't know about Soul Calibur 7 yet. So I'm like, cool, Tekken fans, I'll wait.
I got you. I gotta say, Tekken 8, Fist Meets Fate. That's very Fast and the Furious. Big fan of that. I think it's very cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of very cool,
I am glad Tekken fans are getting a game though.
Yeah, and again, I played Tekken for years as a kid.
This was kind of dumb.
Yeah, the Game Awards does us some. Oh, for The Last of Us 2, they had a bunch of dead bodies hanging.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Sometimes the Game Awards is a little dumb, but Star Wars Jedi: Survivor. I think this trailer is incredible, and watching it live, the hype was so real because I have a feeling this will be like a God of War Ragnarok. It is. They've announced it. It is very much the same game but bigger. We're going to be visiting the same locations, new locations, that kind of thing. The gameplay and the things you're doing in the gameplay are so radical. I cannot wait for this game. Specifically at the end, when he grabs a stormtrooper and he freezes laser blast and he puts him in front of the laser blast, like Kylo Ren style.
Right.
That is some cool. Have you not watched the trailer yet, Ben?
I have not.
Oh, Ben, you gotta watch this shit. Look, did you see the Breath of the Wild style riding on a dinosaur?
I did see that. Ben came unprepared for this.
Oh my god. This is probably my favorite trailer, even though Armored Core was announced. This showed me what the game is.
And it had to, because it's coming out in March.
Yeah, and you find a cool Mandalorian-looking dude, and you get both your blades again if you want them.
We are less than 4 months from playing this game.
That's incredible. Yeah, the thing that I'm super excited about is the story, because it's you rescue somebody early on, and then it turns out he's a bad guy. So you're trying to get him back, in some capacity. I thought he was going to be a clone of Cal Kestis when we first saw the teaser trailer. Right. Doesn't look like that. I think he might just be an evil clone person. I thought that was Poe Dameron for a second. Yeah. I'm like, what? It's not Poe Dameron.
Wrong time.
This is look at this. He's got a double bladed spinning around. Man, this game looks so good.
That's so cool.
This is the shit I'm talking about.
Oh, that's rad.
I think this game looks good.
I am looking forward to Jedi Survivor. I highly enjoyed Jedi Fallen Order.
Hell yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready for Star Wars Dark Souls again.
Yeah, 100%. And the only thing I hope they fix is the map, because I thought the map in that game was atrocious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That bad 3D map.
I will say, like, for Jedi Survivor, for me, the like villain rollout, I guess, with the tank and everything, like you said, thought it was a clone of Cal Kestis or something. It's very weird because we don't know who they are, and they're kind of treating it like we should, or we should have some indication because, like again, doing that live action like tank thing, I'm like, that doesn't mean shit to anybody.
It was for 5 seconds.
It doesn't mean shit to anybody. Yeah. Nobody knows who this is. It's the one part of this where I'm like, I don't know what they're doing.
It makes me...
I'm happy to see he has a new boyfriend, but I do miss his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, the Dathomir girl. Yeah. Oh, yeah. she's got to be in here. We definitely saw Deborah Wilson as like the.
We saw her. She's working with what looks like remnants of the Jedi Archive.
Yeah, she looked like she was in Coruscant.
Mm-hmm. Or her the lady who was a former master cut herself off and then knighted him.
Yeah.
I think she has parts of the archive stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think she's in Coruscant. I think she just has parts of the archive stuff, because there's no way that Cal Kestis can go to Coruscant right now.
I see those books and I'm like, I've seen those books so many times. I have a feeling, I hope it's wrong, but like, remember in Arkham Knight how like it was like going to be a big reveal who the character was, and like, oh, we know who it is. I'm worried that it is going to be a big reveal that it is a clone of Cal, but like it's not going to have any impact. It's like, so why am I supposed to care?
Why does that mean anything?
Why does that mean anything?
Right.
And if it's not Cal, who is it, and why should we care? I don't think it's giving us a reason.
Because it's not. Yeah. I am worried about that, because like the marketing, the hype, especially if you remember, like go back to the first teaser for this game.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was all about that central figure, and I'm like, nobody knows who this is.
Yeah.
This doesn't mean anything yet. So I don't know what you're trying to do here.
God, I love the execution moves where you just like you slice their legs off and shit. Yeah, this game's gonna be a banger. I'm sorry. I wish that would be good. I wish that was Poe Dameron. Ben, I lied. This is the best trailer of the show. It's Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, God. Damn, I am so hyped for this game. I am so excited. Just even this revenge trailer, we get more story stuff, and we get
dude,
God. I want to.
Go ahead.
I want to say this is the first mainline Final Fantasy game that's rated M.
Yeah,
because they straight up said this game is rated M for mature. I'm like, because normally Final Fantasy games like mainline, because I know Strangers of Paradise, that's an M rated game.
Chaos.
Yeah, but every other, like the mainline games, Square tries to keep it as like, hey, T for teen, try to get as many people to buy it. 16 being an M-rated game, it's like, nah, we're going hardcore on this one, and it looks so good.
Every trailer they reveal, like I can't help but say like, this is giving me Game of Thrones vibes, and like this entire trailer is about revenge on families and shit. I'm just like. First of all, like the narrative looks really good. I cannot believe how visually stunning this game looks.
Right.
Like every frame, like this is like might be like the real first next gen game that I think we're gonna get, because like the scale is insane.
Yeah, it might be.
It's a PS5 timed exclusive.
God.
And the thing is,
you have a dog companion.
And the thing is, 16 is going. I love it when Final Fantasy, because Square does this. They do a game where they go back to like traditional Final Fantasy setting, where it's a dark fantasy. You have kings, queens, political strife, and then they do like some like, hey, let's like mix it up a little bit. Let's go like more sci-fi. Was
12 the last time they did like the fantasy shit like this?
That's one of the reasons why 12 is my favorite Final Fantasy game, because they went back to like the dark fantasy, the political strife. I mean. In the Final Fantasy fan base, they do joke that 12 is essentially Star Wars in the desert. They're not wrong, because you have an evil empire, you have a Princess Lost, but it's still a good game.
Yeah.
It's a good game, but it has a different combat system that some people are kind of meh on. I personally really enjoy it.
Dude, you are tied to your summons in this game. Like you become your summons for fights. Look at this! I can't believe what I'm watching right now.
It looks wild.
And looking at 16, just looking at all these fight scenes where you can change in and out, and you have these amazing bombastic fight scenes. Everything is just, I'm just like, I am here for it. Because a lot of one of the big problems with 15, I love 15. You guys both know that 15.
I also like 15. Favorites. I love driving around with those boys.
The story isn't really there. I mean, the story is there, but it's not a good part of the game. Whereas you go there for the character interactions, you go there and I think the action gameplay is very nice and smooth. 7 Remake did a really good job with the cinematics and the action and the fighting. I think that was a really good way to redo that. But looking at the story is there, the gameplay is there, the character interactions are there. It's taking everything that was great about the past big Final Fantasy games and mushing it into one.
We have every reason to believe the story is there. We don't know it yet.
Here's what I tell you.
Because you can say, oh, that's right. It looked like the story was there for 15 also.
I will tell you why.
I'm sure it's there.
No, just let me tell you why like the fan base is really excited about this game, because this is the director of Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO. And that is an MMO that has 1,000 hours of cutscenes over the past 10 years. And Yoshi P, the director, he is like a god to Final Fantasy fans. And he was given the reins to make his own Final Fantasy game, and he made it rated R, and he made it dark fantasy and shit. So like, I have full faith. Like if this game is bad, that is something is wrong with it.
The dark times are coming.
Dark times are coming.
If this game turns out to be, yeah, you're absolutely right. If this game turns out to be bad, then I also would say dark times are upon Square Enix, because for a while people. I mean, don't get me wrong. Square is already on thin ice with the president really trying to go hard into the NFT bullshit.
Yeah.
But the fact that the director is like, I am doing this game the way I want to do it. Once again, so let me rephrase earlier. It looks like the story is there. It looks like the character interactions are there, and what we've seen of the gameplay to me looks absolutely fantastic. I am all for Final Fantasy turning into an action JRPG. To me, it's more engaging. I do enjoy turn-based RPGs. That's totally fine. I know there's a bunch of Final Fantasy purists out there who are kind of like, we want turn-based again.
Nah.
But in order for the series to evolve, you need to keep doing new things.
Yo, man, like from the combat in 15 to 7 Remake to this, it's only gotten better, and it's only gotten better. And like you're still you're still tactical. Like you still have to it's not just like button mashing. You still have to like use your magic and items and shit. Like it's still tactical. It's just a little bit faster.
But we should probably move on, because I could keep rambling about Final Fantasy 16.
Fate is written in fire. Also banger. Also a banger. Oh, so this is a me joint.
You paused it.
I sure did. This is by Ghost Story, and they have never released a game because this is the studio's first game.
I'm really excited about this.
It's by Ken Levine, the creator of BioShock, and his last game was BioShock Infinite 10 years ago.
You can kind of tell.
Yeah. And he's just like, hey, I love BioShock. I never got to make another BioShock. What if I make another new BioShock universe? So this is just like, hey, it's a crazy world with crazy powers, sci-fi, retro, like futurism shit happening.
I love the style.
Yeah, like it is like so weird. Like it's more cosmic than the BioShock series has been, but it's very much the same. Of like, you got something weird on your hand. You got robots and mechs. You got crazy people in masks. So whatever Judas will be about, I'm very, very excited, because Ken Levine is like a video game visionary.
Agreed.
Judas.
That looks very interesting.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of interesting, we could skip Diablo 4. I like Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is fine. Oh, Ben. Oh. Did you watch this trailer, Ben?
I did not, but now I'm glad I am now super glad I got you action figure for Christmas.
This is the Warhammer 40K game I've been waiting for.
Oh my god. Okay, so Space Marine came out like in 2009 or 2010, and that game was a excellent low, like somewhat low budget beat 'em up. But the scale and the visuals in this game, I was like losing my mind watching this, because like there are hundreds of characters. It's like Dynasty Warriors, Space Marine. This is like the vision that first game was trying to get to, but it couldn't because of its budget.
My dream is a game that's essentially this, but multiplayer.
Oh my god!
For us to go in.
Space Marine had multiplayer, but nobody played it.
This combat, like Ryan, as you said, this combat reminds a whole lot of Dynasty Warriors, but also kind of it also reminds me a little bit of Transformers War for Cybertron.
Yeah.
Where you have like, it's a third-person action game where you also, because I could see you have a bunch of really cool melee stuff, but you're a space marine. You get the guns. You get to go pew, 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 pew.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh, man. I am slowly but surely getting into Warhammer, Ryan. Damn you. Why are you doing this to me?
Because that's the greatest science fiction universe on the planet. God to the Emperor. Yeah, this just looks like just so sick, and it's coming out next year. And like, I never thought this game would get a sequel.
When I say multiplayer, what I really mean is like a co-op.
Oh,
campaign.
co-op. Okay, yeah, because it was like
no. I want a co-op campaign, like Gears or a Fire Team Elite, even. Like,
if that was like a secret announcement happening soon, I would truly lose my mind.
I would love that. That would be insane.
Yeah. This is for me. There's a new Dune survival multiplayer MMO coming out.
We got a very tiny glimpse a while back, and now we're getting a more full-fleshed look.
Yeah. So this is from the company who made Conan Exiles, which is a Conan-inspired survival MMO. And that game was really fun. I played that game several hours, here and there throughout the years. But I am totally down to join my friends, the Fremen in the desert, to fight against some bad boys and join some sandworms.
Yeah, the more that we're getting into Dune, the more this appeals to me. One of my favorite things about it is they say that this is inspired by both the book and the film.
Yes,
but I'm glad that the film designs have not overtaken all the designs. Like they're still making choices.
Yeah.
Rather than just everything looks like the movie now.
100%. Like the orthocopters are basically the same, but other things are different. Yeah. So Dune,
like you have the logo of the film, and it looks like some of the the ships look like they're from the movie, but at the same time, it still looks like its own game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk about.
I hope it's good because, like, real quick, the next one's Remnant 2. Can we just have any of you touched Remnant?
Yes, I played Remnant from the Ashes a little bit.
I heard that maybe I should, but I never did it. But this trailer looked wild.
Yes.
I like a lot of the design stuff I'm seeing.
It reminds me a little bit of the later Resident Evil games.
Yes.
The first Remnant of the Ashes it's like a 7.58. Like it's good. I didn't finish it because I didn't think it was good enough, but it is a like a sci-fi Dark Souls.
Yeah,
it is a Dark Souls.
There's just a lot of design stuff I'm really digging in this one.
Yeah, I was also digging it. But I have to wait for reviews to see on this one.
For sure.
This is probably the biggest surprise.
Oh my god!
Of the show.
Ben, do you know about this one?
Did you know about the Bayonetta game?
I do not. I've
Ben,
seen this.
I just want to watch. I just want to watch this happen to you. This is a prequel Bayonetta game.
And you know what those games look like, right?
You see it right there. There's,
Yeah, I'm just making sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Bayonetta. Yeah. I know of Bayonetta.
Okay, well, this is Bayonetta Origins, Ben. What do you think of this? This flabbergasted me. I was stunned.
I am super hyped.
Yeah.
What?
So it's a prequel about...
They've made a completely different kind of game.
Oh.
And it's funny because it took Bayonetta 3 years to get made, and now there's like 2 Bayonetta games coming out like 6 months apart from each other.
And this one looks much more impressive.
Yeah, and it's
just by virtue of being different.
It's a different studio. It's a prequel origin about how she became the witch that she is.
Yeah, huge surprise. That they're doing this.
It's very cute.
I love the style.
Yeah.
The art looks exceptional.
It's like almost like cel shaded.
They've completely flipped the script on Bayonetta.
Yeah.
It is very chibi, and I'm actually not mad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a fun, like a narrative driven, like adventure, like 2D, 2.5D adventure with Bayonetta is really cool.
I was not prepared for what this was.
Yeah. And like, dang, because like I only played Bayonetta 1, and I'm like, man, I'm into this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Bayonetta 1 from my PS3, but watching this, like, this is completely different because you hear Bayonetta, you think okay,
character action game, yeah.
Yeah, action game, witch time.
She turns her hair into a weapon. Yeah.
She turns her hair into a weapon. Her hair is her clothes. It's sexy action.
Yep.
And then you see this. It's like, oh, this is new. This is like a children's storybook, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, it's storybook. That's very apt.
It's very accurate. Sarazar and the Lost Demon.
Yeah, and it comes out in, again, 3 months.
March.
It comes out like right before Jedi Survivor. So look at that.
Watch this.
Oh my god.
Another reason to have to get back to Destiny.
Dude, this is the most I've ever wanted to play Destiny in my life.
It keeps happening all the time.
But this doesn't. I didn't know this was Destiny until they said it, because the environments are 100% different. The moves are different. You have Green Lantern shit. This game looks so good. Look at this. You could grapple other people.
Yeah. They've said that, like, the previous one, the end of the witches thing was
the Witch Queen.
Like, kind of the end of part 1 of Destiny 2 in their eyes.
Oh my god!
So we're entering like a whole new era of Destiny 2.
This looks so sick. Yeah. And the Green Lantern moves,
which means it might be the best time to jump in, depending on how they onboard you.
You got whips.
I think that's what they're going for. They want to give you something really, really new, and I think they are. They're completely changing what Destiny 2 has been known to do.
This trailer made me so mad because I'm like, I'm years behind.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
The good news is that they've at least they haven't reneged on where Destiny 2 is at now. They're not getting rid of any old story elements anymore. So everything that's there is there going forward. So you can still go back through a lot of this to catch up if that's something you want to do. But it does sound like this is a new beginning in Destiny.
And
2.
it's our end begins. Destiny's life cycle is 10 years. So with Destiny 1 and now moving to Destiny 2, we're slowly getting there. So I think this is going to be the final couple years of we're dropping like the finale of what our thing's going to be, and this is the start of it. Right. Not Street Fighter 6, but Destiny. But hey guys, I love Street Fighter. I don't play it that often, but I think they're always fun to play.
I haven't been drawn to want to play a Street Fighter game for a long time.
But this one, the style is out of control. There are so many new characters. Like the further we get with technology, it's not just about like how good games look, it's about how smooth they look and how the fidelity and how smooth punches look. And like this game, that's just like these might be cartoon characters, but these are people fighting. Right. It's so the fidelity is so high, and I love the way that these characters look. I love the dude with the cane. I love a good cane fight. Mm-hmm. I just think this game looks insane.
That, and we've seen in other trailers as well, the interaction with environment stuff is just really well thought out and integrated into the system.
Yeah.
This Street Fighter game is impressing me on every level.
So far, this Street Fighter game is definitely washing out the bad taste that Street Fighter 5 left in a lot of people's mouths.
God. It took years for that game to get up to snuff.
I downloaded that game because it was free on PlayStation Plus. I want to say it was the base version, didn't have all the DLC because Capcom be Capcom.
Yep.
But I haven't touched it. I have not touched it. The last Street Fighter game I played was Street Fighter 4 on my Nintendo 3DS.
I also have that for my Nintendo 3DS.
And I don't have that game anymore. That's a lie. Actually, that's a lie. The last Street Fighter game I bought was Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition for the Nintendo Switch when that first dropped.
There you go.
And that was because it's like, hey, here's an updated version of Street Fighter 2. And I'm like, screw it, because Street Fighter 2 is arguably the best Street Fighter game ever made.
You're right. No, you're right.
I mean, how many different versions did they make of that game? A freaking butt ton.
Like 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. But looking at how gorgeous 6 looks, and also there's a true campaign story mode, and it looks good. It does look really good. I'm hoping. I'm personally. I'm going.
I like the big. I like the big woman.
I'll say to what you're saying, Ben, that I think this is a Street Fighter 6 that saw Dragon Ball FighterZ and went, all right, we need to
step it up
seriously.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Not that they're mimicking fighters, but they're meeting the challenge
visually. Yeah.
Well, also remember when Fighters came out, Capcom was putting out Marvel MVC Infinite, and then they royally shat the bed with MVC Infinite.
Sure.
Rude.
And so it's then of course Fighters comes out and just wipes the floor with them. So I'm pretty sure Capcom is learning their lesson.
Yeah.
So hopefully
we got two more small
your
ones.
Fans and fan yourselves down because it's getting hot in here.
I cannot believe that this is real. I thought this was I thought this was a joke when I saw it announced. We don't fully know what type of game this is yet.
Right.
I'm going to guess it's like a Telltale game, which is the perfect type of game.
What if it isn't?
That's fine too. That's totally fine.
No, I'm just saying with this animation style, what if it's something totally different? I'm going to be flabbergasted.
The way the fighting is, it makes me think that's it's like you've played Telltale games. Yes. How like you press A to punch or X to dodge. It feels like that. It doesn't feel like it's a third-person adventure game.
For sure.
Regardless, we are getting a Mike Mignola-inspired art Hellboy game with Lance Reddick as Hellboy. I just can't believe this is real. It's only a short little tease, but man, that's all shit at Hellboy. That looks like it's from the comic.
What a dream to be living in.
See, this looks like it's a real game.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm confused because I'm not sure.
No, I'm really curious.
Oh my god, what if it's like a Dark Soul where you have to fight one enemy at a time?
Oh no, God.
This art style is amazing.
Yes. Yeah. I bet
gorgeous.
I bet this is a lower budget game, but I gotta look up who made these games. Who made Upstream Arcade? Oh, Arcade. Then they make probably like good indie games. Yeah, I love Hellboy. We're all fans of Hellboy. I didn't think we would ever get into the Hellboy game after the Science of Evil, which was on the 360, which is a totally not good Hellboy game. But last but not least, is a game I think we've all... Ben, have you touched Dead Cells at all before?
Nope.
Cool. You would love it. It's a Metroidvania.
You would love it.
It's a hardcore Metroidvania. I know you've touched it. I've touched it. I haven't touched it a lot, but this will 100% make me get back to it. And it's Return to Castlevania in Dead Cells, where you're going to Castlevania as a Dead Cells guy, and you're like fighting Dracula and shit. Yeah. I think this is just a cinematic trailer, right? There's no gameplay?
Yeah, no, it's just cinematic.
Oh, yeah, but the Belmont shows up.
But it's beautiful. It's beautiful art cinematic.
Oh,
yeah.
Alucard.
Oh, yeah, Alucard.
There's Alucard, there's Richter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their Dead Cells is crossing over to Castlevania. They're just doing it flat out, which is wild.
And so, like, hey, Ben, if you've been wanting a 2D Castlevania game, you're kind of getting it with this. Yeah, this looks... I'm so stoked. I when that first season of Castlevania came out years ago, I got really hardcore back into Castlevania, and I bought like every game that was on sale. And I didn't play all those games. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to now because Castlevania's cool.
Right.
I have started Castlevania Symphony of the Night on my PS5.
The greatest game ever made.
I'm not very far into it. I think I'm stuck somewhere. But I also bought the Castlevania Advance Collection on the Switch.
Same.
Because I heard the Game Boy Advance games are fantastic. Yeah, I really need to do a hardcore dive into Castlevania eventually, and really like sink, and really, no pun intended, sink my teeth into Symphony of the Night. Maybe play Rondo of Blood first.
We should do Symphony as a basement arcade in the future, because that is one of the greatest games ever made.
That would be great.
We should.
Yeah.
We definitely should.
And
I can start over on Symphony of the Night. I'm not super far in.
Hell yeah. Well, that's the Game Awards, y'all. That's all the games that got announced. All the winners of the things. We're gonna go back to the regular screen. What was your favorite? Only one. What was your favorite announcement? And it could be an old game, it could be a new game. But what was your favorite announcement, Ben, that you saw?
16.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to say 16.
Final. I mean, it's obvious. I feel like it's obvious. Final Fantasy 16 is the big one, and the game looks absolutely fantastic. And also, I know it's a completely different number, but being that this is 10 games out from the groundbreaking and the highly beloved Final Fantasy 6, they need to bring it for 16. Not to say that obviously Final Fantasy 14 is still going strong to this day. Final Fantasy 15 was a really good game. I wouldn't say a return to form, but it was definitely something to bring in new people to get interested in the series.
They were trying something different with that game, and I think it mostly worked.
Yeah, and then you have Final Fantasy VII Remake, which also did really well and is still a really good game. And Crisis Core came out today. So as of this recording, Crisis Core came out, which is another game that I need to get. Holy shit.
Yeah, too many games.
Yeah, it's way too many games. 16, just the fact that 16 is coming. Like when this was announced a few years ago, I was like, I'm ready for more Final Fantasy. I'm ready for the next main line. I'm ready to go back into a dark fantasy setting, Game of Thrones-esque place. The combat looks great. It looks like a fantasy, a truly bombastic fantasy where the summons are tied to you. And I love that. I absolutely adore that. And I'm ready. The second they said, "Hey, here's a deluxe edition with a steelbook," I have all the Final Fantasies that I've bought on the PS4 era, all steelbooks.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that steelbook.
Yeah, my heart says Armored Core, but like my brain's like, did you see that Final Fantasy 16 trailer though? Yeah, like when your main character he turns into like Ifrit or whoever it is, like he turns into a beast and like you start fighting another beast. I'm just like, I'm gonna be playing that game next year. Oh yeah. Like I played a lot of really great like PS5 games, but honestly, like I don't feel like I fully utilized it yet. So like I think 16 might be the first one where I'm like, damn, that's why I paid for this machine. Yeah, it is Final Fantasy 16 for me as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely hyped for that as well. It's tough to not say Final Fantasy 16 or Armored Core 6.
Yeah.
But if I'm being real to me,
this is a you. Be real.
It's Space Marine.
I love that answer.
It's Space Marine.
Listen,
because everything I'm seeing in the game there of what they showed us is everything I've wanted a Warhammer game to beat so that I can play it.
If you want to do a Let's Play of the first game, it's only like 5 hours long.
Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah, so that's the Game Awards. Great announcements, great awards. Happy to you, Elden Ring, God of War, all the other winners. That'll do it for this wonderful episode. Do we have any other stuff happening the rest of this year, Ben? I'm not sure.
As of right now, for Pazmania, we have the quarterly coming up.
We have a quarterly.
Gotta talk about we got the quarterly because boy, that quarterly is gonna be spicy. It's gotta be spicy.
I like the Dune spice.
And we're going to have a Game of the Year discussion on Elden Ring in the near future.
Yeah.
Whether that's before the end of the year or just at the beginning of the next year, we'll see.
We'll talk about it.
But it's just the 3 of us, so...
I want to get you one more session in. Just one more.
We'll
just for fun. Just to see.
And then sometime in January probably is a God of War Ragnarok discussion.
With Brandon McClure of the Fake Nerd Podcast. Yeah.
And also probably on this feed really soon, expect a Jedi Fallen Order archive episode to be released, because there's a Jedi Fallen Order discussion that we recorded that we never released.
We never released. Was I on it?
Yeah, we're all on it.
We never released it.
We never released it.
When did we do it?
Oh, a long time ago.
Was it on video?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna all look so different.
Yar! Oh
That's,
my gosh!
A blast from the past. Love it. Well, got all that beautiful stuff. Ben, why don't you take us out of here?
Yeah, of course. Well, before we leave, gentlemen, where can people find you on the internet?
Ooh, well, you can find me at DJ Tony Snark 616. Just loving games, hopefully playing Midnight Suns soon. I'm getting my tips back at work, so I've got some extra money. I really, really want to play Midnight Suns.
You can find me prepping to dive into Ragnarok at Sparkz Witty on Instagram and Twitter, SPARKZ Witty.
Boy. And of course, you could find me at BenMaga27, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you can also find me writing for Old School Gamer Magazine, Fusion Gaming Magazine, GoNintendo.com, and also playing Mary Frankenstein in the D&D Dark podcast, which is up now on all your favorite podcasting feeds. Plug for my Dungeons and Dragons show that I'm on.
Nice.
But gentlemen, I would say this is a pretty good Game Awards. I mean, there were some snafus here and there, especially that weird kid that we mentioned at the beginning. But Elden Ring won Game of the Year. Highly deserved. People have been talking about it for the longest time. God of War is still fun. I cannot wait to beat God of War. And I just can't. And I gotta say, 2023 is looking fantastic for new games. Mm-hmm. It's looking extra good. And I'm just like staring, and my backlog is just staring behind. You can't see it, but it's back there with the club about to beat my ass because it's like, how dare you?
And these were all like new announcements and like revisiting. Hey, here's what's coming out. That's still not to include things that like we know are still coming, like Spider-Man. Like a bunch of other like high profile games like Zelda. Like
thankfully, outside of a few exceptions, like one that notably said like 2024.
Earthblade.
Earthblade. Mm-hmm. Oh, we didn't talk about Earthblade, but I am kind of pretty excited about that as an admirer of Celeste.
Yes, Celeste. That is a big Metroidvania platformer. Yeah, by the makers of
beautiful
Celeste.
Style. But like outside of that and like a couple of others where we're not really sure of when their release dates are, a decent chunk of these were in like the first half of next year, which I'm really grateful for.
A lot of March games.
I keep wanting to be not that far out from the video game, like Justice League Suicide Squad, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Too many years anticipating that game.
That's
visually.
True. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can hear about a game, but I shouldn't be seeing trailers for a game 4 or 5 years before it
I
comes
agree.
out.
Yeah, we should be past that point.
Beyond
Metroid.
Good and Evil 2?
Yeah.
Anybody? That may never come out.
Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, well, I
won't hold Metroid Prime 4
we haven't
to that
had a
because
trailer.
all they did was announce it.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
mind
true.
hearing that a game is being made years and years in advance.
We could get a trailer every year. And
I don't
want to
see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see visual trailers of like the stuff in the game for like 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. And Nintendo has constantly said they're still making it. It's just they had to. There's a few snags.
See, it would suck. It would suck if every single year since they announced it, they've been coming out with a single trailer of Metroid Prime 4, like, "Hey, stay hype, stay hype."
That's how hype dies. Yeah. Spider-Man 2 recently was wishlisted on the PlayStation 5, and now the rumors are already out that like the trailer's coming soon. So look forward to that. Looking forward to a great year of games.
Yeah, that we are. And for Sparkz and Ryan, thank you for joining us talking about the Game Awards. And for now, unpause.